two comments. One, basic research. Lately I feel there's a need for an expert and a research team to start revisiting collagen within the meat industry. We don't seem to have anyone that's focusing on that, and I think we might be overlooking that. And then the other one, if I look at most of the research that's been reported here and in most of our journals, seem to be focused on first world meat production, obviously because that's where a lot of the funding comes from. I'd like to see more research coming out on the hidden meat production, that is the informal sectors. Not necessarily always that the informal sectors are wrong. We tend to think the Western way is the best way, so we keep trying to change the informal sectors to the Western, but I think we need to understand and unravel more what's happening there. They have different concepts of meat quality, for example, of meat safety. And then we're not only talking livestock, we're talking many livestock species, for example, the guinea pig in Chile. And I think we need to start, as researchers, start venturing into that territory as well. Obviously, the funding is always a problem because most of our funding is linked to industry and industry related. If I see a lot of what was given here, but I think there's a whole meat consumption setup that we as scientists are not giving the due attention it requires. Thank you.
Thank you for your panel discussion. I would like to raise a point that in recent years in Icomst, we don't see lectures about the negative impact of meat on a human health. We have to be more realistic to talk about that. We just talk about the positive point, but we are forgetting about the negative impact. So I would like to request maybe from the next Icomst, maybe you put this session next year. It will be really nice.
Do you want me to respond to that, Mr. Chairman? That's an interesting concept. I kind of think, Ahmed, that there's enough negative information that what we need is better coordinated positive information in true context. I think that's what we need. And I'm not sure that highlighting the negatives without being untruthful is going to be particularly productive. I think it would be interesting to see some other comments from other people about that.
This is for Dr. Powell. My understanding is that American Meat Science Association was creating a list of research priorities, and I would like to know how they align with these hot topics that we are talking about, and if there are other issues that maybe we haven't been dealing with at the conference.
Yeah, what he's referring to is AMSA has been conducting a survey amongst our members, and we had a session at the Reciprocal Meat Conference where we compiled a list of research priorities, more detailed, and did an exercise where we did some ranking. That will be published in September, so watch for it on our website here. Most of the things that came to the top of that list have been mentioned here this week, and the very most important ones were mentioned as well during this session. So it's lining up pretty well.
Thank you, Musa Farouk from Ag-Research New Zealand. I think what I feel we should be looking at as meat scientists is three things. How is meat going to be consumed in the future? Who is going to be consuming this meat and where? When I say how is meat going to be consumed, I'm talking about we are looking at the changes in the demographics of the people. And we are saying by 2025, a large population of the population that was going to be consuming meat are going to be elderly, over 65 years old. And we are still concentrating on three ways meat is being consumed. Whether it is consumed as a whole tissue, whether it is consumed as a coarse, ground product or a fine emulsion product. Is that the only three ways meat is going to be consumed in the future? Or are there other ways meat should be consumed? I think we need to predict and think about that. And that will bring us down to who is consuming it and where. Again, we are concentrating on meat being consumed mostly in affluent or Western countries. But there is a growing population of consumers and markets that are not Western, and that they have specific demands, and we are not doing research to meet these demands. I think this is the areas where we should be focusing. Thank you.
I was very glad to hear all the great research that's going on, and there was two things that hit me. One is to adopt things we already know, and the other thing was to make things understandable and actionable. I was just wondering if we were taking any concrete actions in making things more understandable and actionable.
Any comments on that from you guys?
Yeah, I have one comment. I'm going to talk about our South American experience. So, related, I don't know, interference. You are charged, my friend. Yeah. So, Australian effect. Yeah. So, I am thinking about education in our universities. How many of us have been educated in good communication to the public? How many courses we have been taking in our universities for a better education, particularly when we are dealing with consumer and we are talking about very important issue as feeding people, feeding kids. So I think this is one of the key issues that we have to address when we are educating. Of course, it's just one part, science, but has to be along the chain. This issue has been addressed, of course, before.
Yeah. Just a follow-up comment to that. I think, actually, credit to the Uruguayans, because last year at Icomst, we actually, in this very panel, we talked about the idea of trying to communicate more effectively even what happens at this conference, and what some of the good messages, good stories were coming out, and congratulations to the Uruguayans for having the press everywhere, because I think that's another part of us actually showing that we're in the active community. We're not locked away in rooms, but we're actually are engaged with industry. We're doing research that's relevant to industry, and we need to communicate that to the general public. And so full credit to the Uruguayans for taking that initiative. I think it's something that we, Icomst down the track, should think of to get greater exposure.
In the U.S., we've had for many years a concept called extension, where we take research findings and we extend them to the field and apply them to the industry. Unfortunately, that has not remained a popular allocation for funding resources. And so as a consequence, funding to do that type of work has declined dramatically. And so I think going forward, all of us could be more proactive in attempting to make sure that we have the resources available to make aware all levels of the industry, including consumers, of the science and the things that we've worked on.
All right. It's 12:05. There's been several hands go up, and I'm sorry, but we have to bring it to a close. I guess I would encourage the folks in future Icomsts, if we're going to do a session like this in the future, let's allow an hour or more of time for this kind of discussion, because obviously we've struck a nerve with several people that didn't even get to put their comments on the table. At the American Meat Science Association, I can commit to you that once we get our research priorities out, and I'm also going to pull together a document based on this session, and I'll put it out too. We're going to start looking for a way to engage the entire meat science community, not just those of us who are in AMSA. So watch for that. I'll communicate that as I can, and share that message as we go, so that we can have this conversation on an ongoing basis between Icomst. Let's, Dr. Polani, yes.
One comment about the coming meetings. We have had these invited lectures for 25 years or so, and very many aspects have been covered many times. So Dr. Sosnitsky said yesterday that maybe it should be better not to tell what we know, but more what we don't know. Then we will get more ideas what the research to come should be.
Thank you. Let's give all of our panelists a round of applause. And Dr. Montasi,
Sorry.
with that, we turn it back over to you.
Yes.
And again, thank you for a
Good.
very well-run
Okay.
Congress.
Don't go away. Stay where you are here.
But if I want.
So we're going to show our appreciation to all of them. I'm going to follow the list of presentation to you, right? So first of all, Eero Bulane. It's like the Olympics, right? So you will have here. Keith Bell, please. Of course. Keith. Thank you very much. Keith. David, as you notice, has the color of the Uruguayan flag, of course. You have to remember that. Good. Thomas, please. Right. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to, in the name of the technical committee, we have a oral presentation post-competition. So we have three winners. I'm going to call number 3, Alexandra Trenevinto from Uruguay. The title of the work was Effect of Feeding Broken Rice in Substitution of Corn on pH, Color, Lipids, and Protein Oxidation of Fresh and Aged Poultry Meat. Thank you very much. Come in. Where is she? Run. So the second one, be prepared. The name is Larissa Carvalho from Brazil. The name is an overview of beef marketing and classification standards amongst the industry. Sorry, the wrong one. Sorry. Technological parameters and sensory acceptance of beef burger with the addition of oat bran and reduced fat. And the first place goes to Megan Webb from United States. An overview of beef marketing and classification standards among the industries of United States, Canada, Uruguay, and Australia. Thank you very much. Just to remember, the competition was just for students.
Okay, this is out of the program. I am somehow nervous because it will involve my emotions. But we want to especially recognize a member of our teamwork. He has been participating in the Icomst committee. I'm sorry for my voice, it's because of yesterday. It's not because of emotions. He has been participating in the Icomst committee since 2003, and since then, he has been doing a great job, and he has been fighting to the international community in order to bring Icomst to Uruguay. So, besides, during the last year, he has been working hard to coordinate an interinstitutional team to make this happen. So he made us work a lot, okay? I say this with property because he's my direct boss. So please, Fabio.
So, we have a special, video for you. It's talking about what really happened during this wonderful week. Are you ready for that? This is the ring of this Congress. So, here está. So now we are coming to the end, right? I am sure that you have seen that this is a great effort, particularly for all these people that have been working here. So come on, everybody here. All of you. So we were 4 organizations working together, and our challenge was to show ourselves that we can do something good for this country, for ourselves, right? And also to take care of all of you with friendly kindness as the Uruguayans are. So the other thing is, it has been a long work since we began. We have been taking a lot of time from ourselves to organize this Congress. We have so many problems, but we solve it together. And secondly, we have been taking a lot of time from our families to do these things good. So thank you, Adriana, and all the family of you. This is a small country, but with very big heart. And we really, we share our heart with you. We don't need more words. So we have to keep the tradition. We like tradition. It's not against modernity. It's the opposite. We get the best of the tradition to come to a new future, a new modern future that is going to be good for everyone. So first thing, I'm going to use the ring. Right. Something that we have done and you don't know, we have a copy of this ring, right? But doesn't belong to the Uruguayans, right? Belong to the meat community. If something happened that can be happened, because taking care of 1 year of this thing has been a great responsibility. We were thinking what's happened if we lose this ring. So we have in custody another copy of the ring that's going to be in Uruguay. As soon as, I hope that never happened, right? You have a copy of this ring forever, right? Good. We have it, right? Secondly, it's time for the next Congress. Please, Veronique, you can come to here, right? Finish.
So now I am the guardian of the bell. But I didn't expect it that it was so heavy. It will be extra baggage. Okay. Maybe a necklace. I don't know. Okay. So, thank you, Fabio. Thank you very much. Thank you, all the Uruguayan team. And before anything, I would like, and before talking about France as the next meeting, I would like to express all my thanks to Fabio and his wonderful team for their kindness, for all their help during the Congress to solve many problems. And I would like also to address my thanks to the technicians, the people who were there to help. And thank you also for the quality of the scientific program. Hero invented a new word that I will share with you to qualify the work of the Fabio team. It was just fabulous, a new one. In addition, I would like to say something, that the invitation of the whales in the bay was really something. Thank you for that. I don't think that France could compete on this for the whales, I mean, in the bay. So if we are talking about France, we are talking also about the next Icomst, and I'm very honored to be the chair with Gilles Gandemer of this next Icomst. It will take place in Clermont-Ferrand. Clermont-Ferrand is well known because this is the headquarters of Michelin tires, but it is also a beautiful place, a volcano area, which is trying to get a UNESCO like a patrimony. Clermont-Ferrand is 45 minutes from Paris and 1 hour from Nice. So you see Paris, you see Nice, and then you meet in Clermont-Ferrand. The Congress aimed to be a forum of discussion to address a wide range of issues linked to the meat consumption, to what will be the future in the meat production in the area, different kind of area of meat production, about technology, etc., etc. Icomst is coming back to Clermont-Ferrand after 20 years. And we have given a specific theme by selecting the topic of meat and health, as you say by this morning by David Hopkins. It will be our main thread, and the motto of the Congress is Think Meat, Think Healthy. The outline of the scientific program, you already get this, otherwise there is some outside, will address the position of meat in the world food supply, the determinism of consumer choice, the production system in relation to environment, and also we look at all the product quality such as safety, sensory and nutrition quality. And also we will address the technology and innovation to guarantee them. It will be the opportunity for attendees to discover the meat sector of France, for sure, on one-day technical tour, but also to have a see of the scenic and history visit. This scenic and history visit have been already scheduled for you, and especially the French heritage during the week for the accompanying person. So I would like to show you a film, if I can find it. Well, anyhow, thank you. The sound. Get at the sound. We are looking for you there.
Okay, safe trip to home, right? And thank you very much for your time and for coming to Uruguay, right? And supporting us all the time when we just began. Thank you very much. Good trip.